Hi, and welcome to class number 4 of the Success Principles free online training with yours truly, Patricia Mooneyham, the Passion Professor. And we did a lot last week, so I am excited to get back and kind of talk a little bit about the homework and the assignment and the follow-up this week this week about what we did last week. Our big thing was our vision board, so I hope all of you did take the time to do your vision board, to put together your plans, to have that visual cue. We also talked about the note cards last week and putting together cues and twice a day. We have a lot of homework, so taking that time daily is really important. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to actually show you my vision board and talk a little bit about the elements of it just to make sure that you have an understanding of that. Week 4 goals and objectives. So we're going to talk this week is about taking action to get what we want. So all the best played plans and manifestations and visualizations, and they're great for creating that energy, but still you have to take action at some point. And I know this is the hardest part. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that because I actually am going through this process and some of the epiphanies I've had by teaching this class as to just reading the book. So there's a huge difference, I think, in just reading something and actually studying it. And I think that was a huge thing for me this week. I hope each week, as you go through the materials, that there is some great epiphany or something that takes you to the next level or moves you, propels you forward in some way towards your goals, towards the life that you want. Because this really is about creating the life that we want. It's not just about our next level in our MLM or at our job or things like that. Or about finding a partner. It's all of those things together and really creating the life that we want. But you do have to take action and know how to ask for what you want and asking for help, which is really hard. I know that is something I struggle with all the time. Then, of course, I'm going to go over homework for next week. Understand, I did consolidate weeks 3 and 4. So while this is class 4, this is week 5 of the program. So we only have one more class after this week. So week 4, but class 5. So hopefully you're enjoying the book, and we are actually going to be winding everything down next week. But let's talk about what you had for homework, because we're going to use some of this information later in the class. First thing you're supposed to do is think of something you could ask someone for that would be a stretch. Not so big a stretch would be freeze you up before the next meeting. The principle here is to ask for something you want, to take a step. Action. Take a step. Action. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Take something of your next action steps that are growing out of these sessions and document them. So that documentation is important because it helps you see progress. Remember, we talked about things being measurable and seeing where we're going. I'll share with you my thing to ask was I'm actually taking a class about creating retreats. I really want to do retreats so I have a chance to connect with people one-on-one outside of a normal workshop atmosphere. Retreats are definitely a great vehicle for that. And I actually reached out to the person teaching the class and saying, you know what, I need some one-on-one individual help, and had that session. And so that was me taking the next step and actually asking something that I wanted. We actually even recorded the session. She gave me some great marketing ideas because I've never marketed a retreat. Marketing, I am great with information and education and helping people. Tooting my own horn in marketing isn't something that I'm great at. They teach you not to market yourself in corporate America because you're marketing that company and their products, and they have a whole department, and you're supposed to just kind of follow like a tin soldier. So it's much different when you're out kind of doing something more individualistic, something not corporate America. So it was huge for me to actually reach out and ask for that help, but the universe gave it to me. So that's sometimes you just have to learn to ask. So that was my epiphany this week that I wanted to share with you. And then taking some action steps just in that way, making some plans, some calendar things. So hopefully you've got some action steps going for the things that you put down. And then the theme, which we're going to be working on in our next session, which is tonight, is cleaning up your messes and your incompletes. So we're going to talk about what messes and incompletes are. And then the extensive list of all the incompleted messes in your life that you can handle. We talked about going around your house and kind of starting looking, make a list of things that aren't quite the way you'd like them to be, small list, large list, and so we're going to talk about what we're going to do with those tonight. So that's our main focus for tonight. So, quick review. E plus R equals O. I'm going to keep adding to these and reviewing them every week because these are the main things that you want to take out of this class. So, event plus response equals outcome. We can't change the E, so if we want the O to change, we have to change how we want to respond to it. Goals versus good ideas. Goals are measurable. Goals are something that we actually give timelines around and a way to measure whether we've achieved them. A good idea is just something we kind of think about what might be nice. MTO, right? Minimum, target, outrageous. So it's a goal-setting methodology which kind of says this is the very minimum. This is really where I want to be, and why not shoot for something really outrageous, because you just might get it, and even if you fall short of it, you're still above your target, so you're stretching a little bit. That's kind of the stretch part of goal setting. Doing daily affirmations, and I know I struggle with making time for this and really doing them and doing them right, and that's been part of my learning from actually studying and teaching this course is not just, I actually recorded this week for somebody a prosperity prayer that I had received from a branding coach because I felt like they needed help with affirmations, but just doing my affirmations and keeping them on the right way and doing the visualization piece with it, it is a discipline. It is something you have to really kind of train yourself to do and commit to doing and making the time for it. But I remember, I think it was Wayne Dyer who had said, if you can't find 10 minutes a day to meditate, there's definitely something wrong with your life, right? So if you can't even take 10 minutes in the day for yourself to better yourself, you need to make large changes in your life, whether it's get up earlier, stay up a little later, say no more. I saw a really interesting thing today. I thought as I was working on this, it really reminded me of this class. Make sure before you're saying yes to somebody else, you're not saying no to yourself. Because it is important that you take care of yourself. You cannot take care of somebody else if you're not taking care of yourself. There's that creating daily practices and our vision board. So your vision board is that reminder. There's some great stories about people who pull out vision boards years later and see where things have been achieved. Just really awesome, awesome stuff. So that's important. Vision boards. Making the vision board, so you should have been using pictures, inspirational words and phrases on a poster or a presentation board. I talked about using a presentation board if you didn't have somewhere to hang the poster board up and you want that way you could stand it up. Glue, scissors, tape. And this is my vision board. I apologize. It's a little bit blurry. It wasn't the greatest picture with my camera. I couldn't find my regular camera. But this has, so my 3 focuses this year were lose weight, get organized, and make money. Just because there's some things I want to do to be able to invest back, to expand, to reach more people. And lose weight was because there's some extra pounds that I'm carrying around that I'm not happy with. So not so much about thin, but just healthy. Definitely want to be healthy. I'm conscious of it now. Spring clothes, getting out and they're not fitting. So lose weight was on there. And then get organized, because I tell people all the time, if I was organized, I'd be dangerous. And this is where this class, studying this class and actually teaching it and really digging into what he's saying has helped me a lot, because that whole get organized piece. And you can only, there's one piece he talks about, you can only focus on 7 things. And so anything beyond that becomes clutter and detracts from the quality and kind of interferes with your functionality and your ability to really function at a high level. So around here, and you can't see them clearly here, but you can see I have little pictures around it. For each one of those major goals, I have the action steps. So this is around lose weight and 30 minutes of cardio a day and weights 3 times a week, and just, you know, not eating processed foods, and then making money, commitment to developing a larger team for pure romance, because that actually offers an opportunity to a lot more women, and you know, cutting back on unnecessary expenses, making money, and then getting organized, how much time, making money out of what I sell, if I clean things out, streamlining, just being able to move more quickly because I get rid of clutter and holding on to things from the past, things like that. So that was all in I made the list of those. So, you know, I've got all kinds of things. Love your body, plan of action, I believe in miracles, always, you know, different things to kind of inspire me. So that's my vision board. You can make it as complex or as simple as you like. You can leave room to add to it as you add to your goals, but you definitely, it needs to have meaning to you. So that just gives you a little example of what I did for a vision board. So taking action to get what you want, incompletes and messes. So that is where we are going to start with this evening. You want to think right now something that showed up this week. So I did talk about something that showed up this week and told you about what showed up for me this week. But clean up your messes and your incompletes. We're going to talk about cleaning up messes. There's 2 reasons it is valuable and necessary to clean up your messes and your incompletes if you want to accelerate your rate of accomplishment in life. The first is that it builds your self-confidence and self-esteem. When you have a lot of incompletes in your life, and we know confidence is sexy every day, and you are constantly looking at all the things that are not done, you will feel overwhelmed. And you'll be consciously or unconsciously judging yourself as incompetent and incapable because you're not completing them. Every time you look at these things that aren't complete and handled, they're reflecting back to you the message, you aren't handling me. You are either afraid to do it or you don't know how to do it, and this compromises your feelings of competence. The other reason that it's important to handle these incompletes is because of what psychologists call attention units. So this I referred to a little bit earlier. You can only attend 7 things at once. Beyond that, you can't. So what happens is when you have cluttered desk, you're constantly seeing all these papers, post-it notes, to-do lists, unanswered letters, and other items that steal your focus away from the task at hand. You look over and think, oh, I should move that. I should put that away. This goes in my house. I need to answer that. And so on. The more incomplete you have in your life, the more your focus and your creative energies get fractured and scattered. By handling the incompletes, you get more and more time in your life to focus on the really important goals and dreams you have, which is what we want, right? We want to create time and space to achieve the really big things on our list. So the first step is to get all of your incompletes down on one list, either on paper or on your computer. Once you've been captured them on paper, you can prioritize them and then tackle 1 a month or 1 a quarter. You don't have to think about the others because you know they're on the list and they'll be handled in the order of their importance. So think about that irritations and incompletes and messes that you did for your homework. And really what you want to do is you're going to go and if you didn't do the list sometime soon, you can divide your list into little incompletes and big messes. Little incompletes might be like dropping off 3 dresses to get them hemmed. A big mess would be cleaning out your garage, something that would take a considerable amount of time to complete, or something that has emotional energy attached to it, like cleaning up your relationship with someone, sister, ex-boyfriend, parents, neighbor. So those are big ones. So what you would really like to do is really commit to at least 1 big mess, which you're going to clean up by the end of the next 3-month period in your life. And really make sure that you either find another incomplete, something that you're going to commit to within the next 30 days. So from that list, once you've divided them out, you need to pick one of those, each one of those. And the next step would be then to apply the MTO model to the mess, to the big part. Like I said, the little one is something that you're going to be able to do relatively easily. You're not going to put a lot of pressure on yourself, but it's something that you're going to do. And then, for example, cleaning up the messes, your minimum. So mine is to clean out my basement, right? So I'll use that example. That's mine. My minimum goal would be 1 hour to just go through the old boxes of clothes. I have tons and tons, different sizes. I read something about the whole holding on to all that is a belief, a place of lack, which this really hit home because you feel like the universe isn't going to replace those things if you get rid of them. And I'm holding on to things from, I'm saying, like 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Because I really like them, and thinking the universe isn't going to give me another white denim skirt when the time comes. So I thought, oh, I really actually probably will need to ask somebody to help me go through those things and just get rid of them, and because they're just taking up space and they're just causing clutter, and they're things I'm holding on to that I don't need to. No, I probably won't be able to replace the 1988 Rose Bowl sweatshirt, so I probably will hold on to that because there won't ever be another one that's a college refresher thing. But I don't need the other things that I'm holding on to in various sizes from various years, where my weight's fluctuated over the years. So that would 1 hour, but my minimum would be the 1 hour just to go through those clothes boxes. Now my target is to take a whole day, find some help, clean out the basement, and rearrange everything in it, because I really want to do some different things, rearranges. I have some other changes going on in my life, and I would like to do something different with that space. My outrageous goal is to hire a professional organizer to do a basement cleanse, to put in a drop ceiling and brand new carpet, and add a shelving system with drawers for storage. That is my outrageous goal. So it would be fabulous, and maybe, hopefully, I will definitely, the minimum, I know that I can take an hour this weekend and go through those boxes and get those clothes out, because this is the time of year I'd be switching over my wardrobe anyway. I can clean out both sets, spring and summer, at the same time. It's perfect. 1 hour, I can commit to an hour. That's not a problem. But the target would be to take a whole day, and I need to do this. So I have a quarter. You have a quarter to do this, but my whole thing was, and of course this is me, well, the sooner I do it, the sooner I move into my next quarter for my next item. But so that kind of gives you an example of what that looks like. And remember, this goes back to our program core. So I set the goal, and then repetition is to repeat the process and by taking action. So those are the things that is the core of this whole program. So this activity is a great example of what we're doing in this program. All right, so does everybody understand that? Incompletes are just things that left unfinished, and they're cluttered. They're things that are clearing the way, that are in our way, that are distracting us for the things we really want to do. Our messes are major overhauls, and they actually are roadblocks from our dreams and our goals, the things that we want to do. So those are, like I said, those big emotional things, really big things that are taking up space in our life, large space, that are just being a huge roadblock to us. So we want to clear those out of the way, and you need to do action. So the next part of this, now that you have created those, this exercise starts to force you to think about what your standards are for complete are. What is complete to you as opposed to incomplete. It also stretches your imagination about what is possible. So yeah, I have never, until I did this exercise, thought about the whole drop ceiling and a new carpet, and really making it a usable space for an office, like where I can actually have clients and customers come into, and like a shopping room experience. So I had never thought about that until I really started to do this. So it really, like I said, I'm studying this and learning, taking it to the next level as I teach this to you. So there's an actual form, and I did do, and I'm going to upload this to the Facebook group, and taking action and asking for what I want. So so you're going to use this. What do I want to ask for? And this is to help you for the things that you need to ask help. Like I said, even to do my target goal, I'm asking for somebody to help me for a day. So, imagine, make a list of all the things that, on the left hand, list all the things in your life that we would like to ask for. Assistance, a change in behavior, appreciation, acknowledgement, someone to stop something, and so on. Once you have a list, fill out the next column. Who do you want or need to ask? Then fill out the third column. When will you ask? So that's the really key. So this could be taking action on, like I said, the relationship with your sister, help cleaning out the basement. And it's not my sister, but I have maybe with somebody in my church I need to do, and when will I do that by? So those are just some examples of things you might want to fill in there. This is really going to people and not being afraid. So my one example was I went to the person leading the class this week, and I asked her for time, and she was more than happy to give me that time to help me feel like I was on the right track. And she pointed out a lot of great marketing stuff on my website, which is getting a revamp and things like that. So those are the things, like, it's fear usually that's keeping us from asking what we want. Fear, we take the no so personally, as opposed to, okay, now I've asked that person, and okay, well, they had to say no to me because they wouldn't be saying yes to themselves. And if you start learning that, I think he gives all kinds of stories in the book about how many times 150 people said no to publishing Chicken Soup for the Soul. We take no so personally, and that goes definitely back to our early years in life. So, and this is something that you might, I mentioned before in the class, finding an accountability partner or somebody that you can go over this with, and get, somebody that'll listen and kind of say, at the end, it kind of gives you that accountability for it. And that way it does help. And it does help to hear it out loud and know that we've told somebody and know that somebody knows. It does something for us mentally. So that's something you're going to work on during this week. So taking action and learning to ask for what we want. We are so afraid to ask. So it's so many no's to get a yes. That was my example. You still, on top of this, want to do your affirmations and your visualizations and take time every day to look at your vision board. Hopefully you have placed that somewhere where you see it on a regular basis, either in your bedroom, so you see it first thing in the morning, last thing at night, in your office, so you can look at it during the day when you're thinking about stuff. Like I said, the cards, carry the cards around with you. And then your homework for next week, remember next week is our last class, make sure to ask for one or more things when you're taking action, asking for what you want form that you just filled out, that you're going to fill out this week. Get started, if possible, on handling one of your messes or incompletes, even if it's just scheduling the time to do it and getting it on your calendar, asking other people to help you. And keep taking actions that move you ahead in the accomplishment of your goals. And then lastly is read the following 2 chapters in the Success Principles before the next session. Have a heart talk. I love this part. Have a heart talk. I actually am already considering where I can use this. And practice uncommon appreciation. So 2 really great chapters. I know you're going to enjoy them. I am so looking forward to them, and I think they're a great place for where we're going to end the class. So I hope you all have a great week. Next week is our last class, Monday, April 13th. And if you have any questions, you can always post them or reach me through Facebook. And I will be posting the replay link there, or you should have gotten it. You'll get it automatically as well with your registration in the class. So have a great week. Work on what things you're going to ask for, what you want. Keep doing those visualizations, and I'll probably post the video for the prosperity prayer in the group too, because hopefully that'll upload to Facebook. I hope it's not too big. But have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.